Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Driven Garage. Today we're going to be showing you how to fix the very known and problematic, it's this tube that actually goes on the Lotus Evora towards the back next to the firewall that takes heat up to escape through the engine bay itself. It's known for frailing, paint chipping, disintegration, and it's just a very common problem that a lot of people have experienced. Today I'm going to give you a couple different solutions I've figured out that you could do just in case you've just been bothered by it, you want to replace it, you don't like your car looking like that, or just maybe if you want to upgrade, I got a couple different options for you. So first things first, you got to go ahead and remove that hose. It does have a radiator style clamp that sits on the bottom here. It does get supported and tied down to there. You will then see a bolt that has to be loosened up. That potentially rotates down a little bit just so that you can actually get access to this push clip rivet that has a zip tie going through it. So you go ahead and pull this hose off. And once you get that off, I'll give you a couple different solutions. So you go ahead and potentially fix, replace, or maybe give you a couple different options if you want to upgrade it. So what I have here today is the original hose that we're going to go ahead and replace potentially. This is the most economically and easiest solution to do, okay? For a lot of you guys that recognize this, you may recognize it as the preheating hoses on the carburetors. And a lot of you guys have also probably seen you could use this air duct toe style, which is more silicone based, but this is pretty much, as you can see, the exact same thing. Go ahead and just put that in there just to support it because it's disintegrated a little bit. But this carburetor preheater hose is the best solution. I picked mine up for about $6.69. They range from $5 all the way up to $10. Got mine at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's a Prestone carburetor preheater hose, part number CP0218. Again, you could get a lot of auto parts store. It's 2 inches inlet size, same size as this one. Just around 1.5 feet long, or 18 inches to be more closer. It is pretty easy solution if you want to go ahead and replace it. The only thing you will have to do is remove this aluminum center. You can go ahead and probably rip it off, cut around it, and place it inside and silicone it to the inside. You don't even have to use that if you want. You'll just have to put this zip tie through a new one, cut it, and put it through this little pop rivet that gets popped back in. For those complaining about the color, I've done 2 different solutions. I've seen to work pretty good. I've done the high temperature one up to 250 degrees, or if you're really worried about it, you could do the VHT very high temp one. I've used it on headers, exhaust. It's more than enough. It has ceramic in it and silica base just to help coat it to it and prevent it from peeling off. And for those who don't want to use the preheater hose, I got another different option for you. So at O'Reilly's, most auto parts stores, they got gate silicone hoses that you might see in cars using for air ducts, air intakes. That one comes in a 6-foot set. It's also inside diameter is 2 inches. That probably is around $50 to $60 because it only comes in a 6-foot hose itself. But you could cut it to size if you want. I also went ahead and just gave you prices on some other heater hoses just in case you ever want to do something else. There's different inlet sizes. The one that you do need though that matches the Lotus Evora is that CP0218, 2-inch inlet diameter size, 18 inches long. And for those who don't want to paint it, I got another solution for you. What I'm going to be doing is using DEI titanium exhaust wrap. You can probably paint it, and if you want, do the wrap itself. I'm going to actually do that. I'll paint it, and then wrap it in this. See how I like it with that, measure the inlet temperatures on it that do it, and after the car shuts off, see if it's retaining or if anything not absorbing that much heat. Because air does flow through there and escapes upward. So hopefully that does help. If you want to use this exhaust wrap, there's different lengths, different sizes, different colors and textures. This one probably ranges around $30 to $40 since this is a larger set. Comes in different sizes. The part number for this one, as you can see, is 01027. You'll have to get some metal, basically zip ties the metal to support this. You probably could use in this application, just normal zip ties, because there's not too much heat going on this. Go ahead and have to cut it, put a new radiator clamp if you want. But other than that, it's really simple, guys. You're gonna probably have to bend this, slide it on, bend it to shape. I'll go ahead and show you the final product of that. Hope that was pretty informational for you. So personally, I just went around cutting it off the top, the metal inlet cup right there. I just peeled it back, go ahead and peel it off, remove that zip tie pull down. So this has now been pretty much cleaned. You could probably try to remove as much silicone as you want. I have some high temp silicone I'm going to go ahead and use to apply to this after I clean it up some more. And then I'll go ahead and insert that, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I went ahead and actually gave it a coat of that ceramic paint. It is going to look a little bit more matte black style as compared to the glossier style in that paint. If you probably were to use the not high temp one, to like 1200, 1500, the one that you can put on exhaust, this one does have a little bit more glossy look of it. A lot better compared to the actually more matter look of the very high temperature paint. But for those who don't want to use the carburetor preheater hose like this, a lot of people are also doing this silicone hose. There's different colors out there, aftermarket world, depending on where you live as well. This Gates one, for example, that I said earlier, it can get down and do temperatures of -40 to 200 plus degrees. I've seen some 300 degrees. Some people, this one comes standard black. It's a Gates, part number 23832, but there's orange, red, yellow out there in the market as well. Different brands as well if you have a preference. There's more silicone based, softer, compared to this preheater hose that is almost like a tin paper feel to it. So if you don't like that option, like this, you could always do that route. But I'm going to go ahead and let that finish up drying before I bend it. I might have to apply just a couple more paint coats to it, and then go ahead and I'll wrap it with the DEI exhaust wrap. So the exhaust wrap has been applied. I'm going to go ahead and bend it to the correct degrees that I need to mount it. I'll go ahead and apply the metal zip ties, in a sense, or clamps, to the top and the bottom. I'll fold this over just so that it doesn't move, and I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like complete. Also, don't forget, you may have to do a little bit bigger zip tie if you are doing the exhaust wrap. If you're not, you could basically skip that step and put this back on, and then you could just go ahead and put your radiator clamp to support it back to there, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So if you look now, I've gone ahead and finished wrapping it and secured it. Don't forget to put that radiator styled clamp on the bottom. It is a 7mm, and then there's the basically metal zip tie securing the wrap. If you're not doing the wrap, it's going to be a lot easier and simpler timing. And then on top there, you'll see there's that nut that basically gets loosened just to swivel the support mount in place. I put, you could do 2 smaller zip ties or 1 larger one, depending on if you have one. That size bolt right there on top is a 15mm that you will have to loosen up. And if you look, you can see the degree of angle that I've positioned mine. So hopefully you guys like the style look of everything. If you did, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hope the video was informational and did lead to a couple different options, and hopefully maybe in other potential thoughts or opinions you could do something. If you need any help or have any questions on supplies or products, just leave a comment below. I'll try to reply as best and as fast as I can.